Good day, everyone. We are the RRS, Rabor Karen, Rayrao Alyssa, and Santos Danna, and we were going to talk about the social interaction theory of Vygotsky.
But before we talk about this theory, please allow us to tell who is Vygotsky and what is the importance of this theory in his life. Miss Alyssa?
Who is Vygotsky? Lev Vygotsky was born on November 17, 1896 in Orsha, a city in the western region of the Russian Empire. He attended Moscow State University, where he graduated with a degree in law in 1917. Vygotsky studied a range of topics while at the university, including sociology, linguistics, psychology, and philosophy. However, his formal work in psychology did not begin until 1924, when he attended the Institute of Psychology in Moscow. He was a seminal Russian psychologist who is best known for his socio-cultural theory. He believed that social interaction plays a critical role in children's learning. Vygotsky's theory asserts or falls under the paradigm of constructivism. When we say constructivism, it is a proposed method of knowledge development based on an individual's active participation in problem solving and critical thinking.
And Miss Karen for the outline of this theory.
And here are the outlines of Vygotsky's theories. Children construct knowledge. Learning can lead development. Development cannot be separated from its social context. Language plays a central role in mental development.
The role of social interaction between the developing child and linguistically knowledgeable adults.
So we will talk about this theory, Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory. Social interaction plays on the fundamental role in the development of cognition. As we remember the theory of Vygotsky about the cognitive theory, and he says that every function in the child cultural development appears twice. First on the social level and later on in the individual level. First between people or the interpsychological, and second one is inside the child, which is the intrapsychological. Vygotsky's theory recognizes the important role of the language that plays in learning art of communication and regulating. Because we all know that language is using for interaction. Because how can we interact in the society if we don't know the language that we are using? So we have two different language. First one is egocentric speech. If we remember Piaget theory, and he is also part of making this theory. But later on, Vygotsky tried to more analyze and give different uniqueness in this theory or create this more acceptable. But it became more difficult to understand because he focused on the process of the development rather than the outcome of the product. So, according to Vygotsky, it appears in the age of 3 or 4 and disappears a few years later. It is the transition from the social activity of children to a more individualized activity which involve thinking until they are able to overcome difficulties. So this is all about the thinking and decision making of itself. And egocentric is also called a speech oneself. It develops the gradual differentiation of self from the collective. So later, we will talk the importance of this. So let's go on the second one, which is inner speech. Egocentric is related to inner speech. It is egocentric speech that has been internalized and which develops intellectual capacities. So, according to Vygotsky, that inner speech is the mind's computational regulator. This inner speech develops after egocentric speech. There are various forms of inner speech such as verbal memory, for example, the recitation of answers in the class, the recitation of poem. So, once language is learned and speech is mastered, inner speech over the egocentric speech. Nevertheless, the both of egocentric and inner speech fulfill intellectual functions and have similar structures. So don't forget that egocentric is all about oneself. The difference of yourself and the thinking process or the cognitive process of your mind. While the inner speech, this has the opportunity for sharing your thoughts to other members of the society. So let's go to the scaffolding, Miss Karen Rabor.
And here goes scaffolding. To help learners achieve independence, Vygotsky outlined scaffolding as a tool for growth. Learners complete small, manageable steps in order to reach the goal. Working in collaboration with a skilled instructor or more knowledgeable peers helps students make connections between concepts. As learners grow within their zone of proximal development and become more confident, they practice new tasks with the social support that surrounds them. Vygotsky maintains that learning occurs through purposeful, meaningful interactions with others.
So let's talk about the principle of social development theory. Full cognitive development requires social interaction, plus cognitive development is limited to a certain range at any given age is equal to social interaction that is more knowledgeable other and zone 4 of proximal development, where learners construct new language through socially mediated interaction. We should not forget that child's language development occurs within the child's constructions of a social world.
Miss Alyssa, for the importance of this theory.
What is the importance of Vygotsky's social interaction theory? Vygotsky's interaction theory asserts that learning is an essential social process in which the support of parents, peers, and the wider society and culture plays a crucial role in the development of higher psychological functions. Vygotsky sought to understand how people learn in a social environment and created a unique theory on social learning. He determined that teachers have the ability to control many factors in an educational setting, including tasks, behaviors, and responses. This theory is more into how people, particularly the children, construct their knowledge based from their experiences and how they interpret those knowledge into more vivid ways. Learning happens in two dimensions, which means to say we can learn from ourselves and then through adapting experiences and from what we observe from our environment. Through social interactions, children go through a continuous process of learning. Vygotsky noted that culture profoundly influences this process. Imitation, guided learning, and collaborative learning all play a critical part in his theory. In addition, it's important to note that Vygotsky's theory emphasizes the dynamic nature of this interaction. Society does not just impact people. People also affect their society.
So, Mr. Love as Vygotsky quote for today, through others, we became ourselves. But don't forget that you shouldn't dictated by the people around you in choosing your own career, in building your own self. And always choose to be in the better circle where positivity and positive people are there to help you. And you might learn from other people, but choose and be wise on having a friends to others or socializing. So for order to you to grow individually and better one.